Hey, hey, I'm back. Howdy, Claude. How you doing? You're up late, bros. You're up awful late. It's starting to look like it used to way back in the day. That's okay, though. Kind of want to talk about last night's episode. I got myself straight after everything was said and done. You know, 9:15. It's 10:15 here, bro. So yeah, I got myself straight. Started feeling better. It's been a pretty uneventful day. Still ain't heard nothing back from the guy, but that's okay. I honestly believe the dude was drunk dialing, to be honest. It's just gonna be one of them nights. I do believe. Got a lot of activity out here in the YouTube world when we're talking about, um, how many people are up and running right now. A lot of people out. You've got Lockbeard going. You've got Paranormal Portals up. Brent's doing his thing. I started wants to jump in there and see how he was doing, and then I realized it was time for me to start my own show. Well, yeah, it's going to be. I just want to jump on here and just hang out tonight. I got the title down. It might pop up in conversation, but I saw something earlier today. If none of you ever subscribe to a YouTube channel called Bright Insights, if you don't, I highly recommend it. Um, a fellow named Jimmy Corsetti, um, he runs the channel. He he does a lot of research about ancient civilizations. He does. Hey, Pyro. He does a lot of talking about ancient civilizations, particularly the Egyptian and Sumerian. And he was talking about today about what's going on in Iraq right now, and how somebody's tearing down what's left of the ruins of you know some of the ancient civilizations that are out there. Why? Someone wake Ray up, and she's been up all day. If she's in bed, I don't blame her. I don't blame her one bit. I'm gonna see if I can set the record for the shortest show on record tonight. uh, been doing a lot of stuff around the house, and I'm trying to clean up my basement. I want to finish my basement out. Make a little game room, place where we can gather as a family and friends and all this stuff. And I got to fix my deck. I put up a freaking trampoline and all this other stuff. But yeah, I've been busy working on the basement today, and honestly, I'm a little tired. A little tired. But yeah. Um, I'm gonna see if I can play some of this a little later. Let's see. Been doing a little reading about the Emerald Tablets. And Emerald Tablets. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff to learn. It was like I was talking last night. I fully believe that we need to learn more about our past. As a people, forget what color and race you are. I mean, we're all human beings, and where did we come from? What what's our purpose here? Truly, you know. The Emerald Tablets. No, they were in Egypt. I want to say, yeah. They're according to some experts, they're like these tablets are like this tablet, the Emerald Tablet, is 36,000 years old. Dude, that's old. Am I echoing? Is there something going on here that I don't know about? I can't hear nothing. Oh, Claudia, you just being funny. You a comic relief tonight, bruh? Oh yeah, indeed. Yeah, he really is. You're right. Um, no, it's hard to see them take. And it's not just you think it's the insurgents or whatever. The ISIS just being dumbasses and getting out there and doing. No, this is an organized deconstruction of these ancient ruins. I mean, statues that are thousands of years old, and they're bringing in heavy machinery to get it done. It's not like they're trying to deface it with you know hammers and chisels and shit. No, no, they're bringing in heavy equipment, bulldozers, backhoes, and all kinds of other stuff just to break all these statues down. It's sickening, really. I mean, our link to the past, and the assholes are trying to erase it. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that video today, and man, that's something else. Oh, me. Let's see here. Speaking of ancient stuff, let me see. Let's see. Let's see if I can bring this up. Hi, Pyro. I'm going to show that mask. So, Pyro, how old did you say this mask was? Wow. I haven't seen that. But Pyro, he sent this to me. This right here. Let me see if I can blow it just a little bit. Pyro, didn't you say this is something like 500 years old or something like that? Or is it older than that? How old is it, man? Pyro, you busy? You want to come on and talk about it for a minute? Pyro, I'll throw you a link just in case. Hey, Damien, what's up? Oh, here we go. It came from 10 feet in the ground in northeast Oklahoma, pre-American, and the rock is not from here, according to a California geologist. Dude, that's crazy. Ancient civilizations. That looks like something come from Central South America. There you go, Hoss. It does look like that, don't it, Damien? Hey, Marty. How are you doing? Lincoln sent, Hoss. Free roam of the night. I ain't as full of fire as I was last night. Thanks, Marty. I appreciate that. I'm glad to be back. I was telling everybody just a little while ago, I've been kind of working on and off all day today, and all the fire's kind of been took out of me. Yeah, but this right here is pretty amazing. Sin has pre-American, and the stone isn't native to the area. So there we go.
Hello, see you. You're in the show.
There you go.
Good evening.
Hey. Long time no see, Hoss.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yes, it has. So what can you tell us about this right here?
Well, it come from some grounds in the Choctaw country, just south of our Cherokee Nation in northeast Oklahoma. About 10 years ago now, I guess. After a flood, it was found several layers down, about 10 feet down in the riverbank there. And the person that's been shown in the local Bigfoot places here or the conferences, a couple of them, Jeff Meldrum has seen it and supposedly offered to, put a good sum on it. And, the guy that has it was promised he'd never sell it. And, I mean, it could be priceless if it was, like Aztec or something like that. But it was just interesting. It's that big, and he thought there was more of it, like a body, shoulders attached to the break at the bottom of it there at one time. But it's hard to tell. It's not something to hang on the wall for sure. I've actually held it. The guy that has it is just down the road here in Tahlequah and has it in his shop. And he's into Bigfoot and sells that stuff too. Does a tattoo parlor down there. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
But how heavy is that sucker?
I held it. It's about probably 25 pounds, 30 pounds or so. It's a good chunk of rock.
Yeah,
not too bad. But it's kind of concave on the backside just a little bit. It's not rounded, so it's maybe take a little weight off in it. But shoot, it looks like Easter Island figure or Aztec or Mayan.
It kind of does.
Yeah, I don't know what the ridges would be for across the forehead. There's like 3 ridges on it. It's not like binding, like a head binding, type of ridges. It looks more like like our ridges, just more pronounced,
Yeah,
like a Sasquatch, or something maybe. But,
let's see.
I've seen one similar that the Arkansas researchers had on their site, but it was brown and it looked a lot older, a lot softer rock, maybe sandstone. That was, the features weren't near as defined as that. But
yeah, here's that other one you sent me. It's kind of gives a little bit more detail.
Yeah, has the length of it there. It looks like it's been washed or something. Difference in the color between the 2 pictures. But yeah, it kind of stood out. And when I'd seen it, I was like, I've got to find that guy. It's like I got to see that. But yeah. So I mean, they think it's for sure a real thing, not a hoax somebody stuck out there somewhere in the creek. So, who knows? They can't carbon date rock. So
right.
It's be hard to tell the age of it. Yep, the Choctaws say it's not their design, any of their booger masks or anything,
Mm-hmm.
So I've talked to several Choctaw people and showed them that. The Choctaw were all down through that part, all the way into Falk and Arkansas. I was down there a few weeks ago talking to them, and so
It's a hell of a mystery.
Yeah,
Folks, we kind of been sitting on this for a while. I mean, shoot, you sent this to me what, about 2 months ago, at
yeah,
least?
a few months ago.
Yeah, you
And I was,
know,
yeah, I'm going to see if I can make some silicone molds for it, offen it and make a copy of it with concrete or something, just to have in case it ever were to break or something, or disappear. You know, I'd like to have a copy of that. Just you could almost just pour silicone out of caulking, around it, and then peel it back off, and then pour that cement into it. I think
a- absolutely.
a cheap fix. Yeah.
If you mentioned it, I didn't catch it. Do you know what kind of stone it's made? It's carved out of?
No, no. The guy that has it, he said a lady out in California, maybe Berkeley, studied, a geologist out there that was at one of the conferences, said it's not a native rock from Oklahoma for sure. He didn't know where it was
Wow.
from, but it's kind of gritty, kind of crumbly. It's not like any of our rock. It's kind of soft. So I'm surprised it lasted as long as it did. With it being it's not crumbly. It leaves like sandstone almost on your hands when you handle it. But yeah, it doesn't seem like it lasts 10,000 years or something. But could be. We've got carvings in our creeks on the creek I grew up on, or live on, that we don't know what they are. They look like a peace sign. One of them, a circle or something like a leaf pattern to it that was there. That's wore off the edge from the years of creek, and the water is 10 feet below that rock now. So it's been there for a long time. Just maybe a marker, for something, for hunting or something in that area. But there's quite a few different things found in this area. We've had an ancient bison head found in the lake here, just a mile down the road. When the lake dried up here several years ago, it had an arrowhead, or broken off arrowhead, stuck in it. When it was
What?
yeah, it was fossilized. So,
Dude, that's cool.
yeah, American bison. They were the dinosaur age or whatever, the giant ones, not like our bison now. Whatever, they got the straight horns, and they're huge. 3 times as big as our buffalo now. So,
Good Lord.
yeah, it's in the museum. They found complete skeletons in the caves and up the creek and stuff with arrowheads in them. War, stuff like that. There's dinosaur eggs every now and then found up there. In the sides of the hills and stuff. You can find like a whole nest of dinosaur eggs, about longer than the ostrich, skinnier. But they, OSU, our local college, come out and collected all they could find of all that stuff. When they're putting the roads in, and found that. But there's still some out there to be found, I guess.
That's awesome. Wow.
Yeah, I was just down the apartment this evening doing the local monthly bills, getting a head start on it. So I thought I got enough signal I can jump on here.
I appreciate you did, man. Thank you.
Yeah,
It's really fascinating, to be honest with you. And like I said, I've been wanting to do this for a while, and I guess now it's a good time as ever. But this right here fascinates me.
yeah,
What is it depicting?
yeah.
That broad nose, the wrinkled brow. That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. My dad told me a story here just a few months ago. We went out to Springfield to the Bass Pro Museum out there. That's a fascinating museum there, and they have some of that old, caveman stuff in there and stuff, and like the cave bear that's huge and everything. And I showed some of the people there that, and they were freaking out about it. They're like, "Oh man, that's needs to be in a museum somewhere or something." It's like, yeah.
Yeah, no kidding, man.
But yeah, that's the way I'm going to make a casting of it. But he was telling me a story on the way back that the Cherokee culture, their history, oral history, goes back about 17,000 years. I was texting last night on the show that that they can recall or think on North America. But there's supposedly we came from an island nation that sank, beneath the seas and went to South America, back and lived among the Aztecs for a while. And on a lot of the Aztec pictures, they have two different colors of people, a brown one and a red one, or darker one.
Right.
Look at anything that was like, what, were there two different colors or whatever? But then he told me that, and I was like, maybe that's where we got some of it. But we supposedly, didn't believe in their ways and lived amongst them. But there were so many of us when we came there, over 1 million supposedly is where the story went, that they were scared of us, or didn't mess with us. And we eventually moved on, followed our medicine men where they said to go, and come up, migrated up into North America, and lived out in the western United States for a while, and then moved east. We lost half of our tribe out there from the droughts and the environment stuff before we moved to the eastern coast where we are now. And a lot of the languages, we're Choctaw, Chickasaw, they can understand and have the same words, where it all kind of branched off of, I'm not saying the Cherokees the first Native Americans, but that's what they call themselves, the first people, or the original people. So
that's cool as shit. It's great that you bring that up, because I was doing a little research, looking on ancient civilizations, ancient peoples, and our ties as a species, just humans in general, and got on the subject of the Denisovians, and they got to talking about how the Denisovians, there's a lot of Denisovian DNA, and most natives to the Americas. Like, you probably have it in you. I mean, the Denisovian, and they're supposed to be just native to Europe, and there's so many stories about how you guys just come from Europe, well, Asia, and crossed over the land bridge and all blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And they showed where there's possibly more routes, and that the island nation you speak of, I mean, they were showing where that's a distinct possibility. I mean, I'd say it's absolutely freaking true.
Yeah.
Well, the way they were talking.
I don't think it was Atlantis, but there were stories of us hunting off of sea turtles, giant sea turtles, and riding.
Right.
The kids would ride them through the oceans and stuff,
mm-hmm.
and fish off them and stuff. So it was like, that's just oral tradition. I mean, there's also the theory we're one of the lost 7 tribes of Israel, at one time. So it goes way back. There's a neat episode of Ancient Aliens. I don't know what episode it is, 18 or 33, somewhere. I watched it here the other night, and they talked about all that and mentioned the Cherokee specifically, and all the tribes of North America, talking about the 7 sisters, and the Palladian star cluster and stuff, and coming from there even. And if you want to get off into that, that's out there, but.
Like, no, dude, let her rip, man.
I can't get into that. I have, I saw it there, and I've heard it before in our oral tradition, but
right.
I saw it there, and I thought, that's what they were talking about. That's our story.
That's awesome, though, man.
It totally blows your mind if you think about, could that have happened? But I find it all interesting.
It really is. It's like I said before. I mean, I really do believe we've got to look at our past. We really need to learn more about our past. I mean, how much we know about it.
Yeah.
And then, the saying goes, if, you don't know your history, those who don't know history are doomed to repeat it. And, if we've made mistakes along the way, and I know we have, I'd like to think that maybe we can gather enough knowledge to where we won't do it again. But I don't know. I don't see it happening in our lifetime.
Yeah.
With the way things are going, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, all right. I just thought I'd share that. Oh, did I lose you? I was trying to look at chat.
No, you good. You're still here.
Oh, can't see chat, but chat with everyone in the studio. Nope, can't do it on this round, I guess. Comments. There it is. Yeah. There's Ray. She's woke. I'm late.
Yeah, she said she wanted to be Neanderthal.
Yeah,
Ray,
like
you're
Ozzy Osbourne. They say the virus actually affected more people, worse with the Neanderthal gene in them. So it's like they were wanting to wipe out the rest of them or something, maybe.
For real?
Yes. Yeah, that's one of the scientific things that pop up on my phone, whatever. So the ones with the Neanderthal gene had it a lot rougher. So,
damn.
I don't know.
I missed that one.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah. I got a lot of downtime to look at stuff on the internet. Too much, I guess, sometimes.
I feel your pain, man. I do.
I went off on these rabbit holes when I had the COVID a couple of years ago. Had it twice now, and about took me out. So it likes my blood. I guess I'm a little caveman myself.
Well, I've been lucky so far. I guess. I don't know. I don't think I've had it. Pretty sure I haven't.
Yeah.
My luck, if I get it, he'll be damn near kill me if it doesn't kill me.
Yeah.
Fact. But yeah, man, I appreciate you coming on, sharing that.
Yeah. If I run across anything else, I'll send it your way.
Please do, man. Please do.
Yeah. But yeah, watch that Age of Aliens when it talks about the Native Americans. I watched it. It was a rerun here just maybe 2 weeks ago. I was like, huh. So there's the stories there. Somebody told them. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they didn't mention the one about us, living with the Aztecs, but all the the pyramids and stuff they built and supposedly destroyed, in Ohio and different places, and they said they got to bringing back their ways more, because we brought them with us, as they come up, and they were starting to do their sacrifice again and stuff up here, and the Cherokees were like, no, that's not what we're going to do, and they actually tore down their temples, some of them were just mounds now, just the dirt, where they took all the rock off them, so they were actually pyramids like the Aztecs had there. So that's just another weird story sometimes, but who knows,
dude. Real quick before you go, I don't know if you're familiar with the Egyptian god King Thoth, but he supposedly ruled for like between 14 to 17,000 years, and he had different incarnations. And he traveled around the world, and supposedly he's responsible for the design and the inspiration for the pyramids that are located throughout Asia, the Americas, and all that.
Gold in the Grand.
The fact that they found Egyptian hieroglyphics in the Grand Canyon is crazy. Yeah. So there may be some truth to it,
and some on the East Coast too. That what's that? That America, the ancient America or something. The guy that goes around and finds that or does that. That's a good show to watch.
I need to find that. I need to look at that too. Yeah.
It's on the History Channel.
Okay.
Ancient America. And he's like, they find all the old stuff and the ruins, the Vikings and stuff, and all their stuff. There's some here in Oklahoma, out in the Panhandle, a cave that from one of their religions, back 6,000 years ago. It shows one religion where they changed from one to another. It's with the light, the way the light comes through the cave, it shines on one, and then the change took place, and then it shines on their new beliefs. So
Yeah.
That's pretty wild. That's in Oklahoma. It's like, wow.
The fact that there's a lot of people who don't want to admit the fact that we're older than they say we are.
Yeah.
They're saying that well, the human race is only like 6,000 or 7,000 years old. Like, dude, that's BS.
Yeah.
I think that's total BS.
Yeah. Like I said, the oral religion of the Cherokee supposedly goes back 17,000 years.
Mm-hmm.
I think you could still count back then, but.
Well, they had done some dating of one of the mounds, the burial mounds. I can't remember which state it was in. Gosh almighty. Michigan, I think. There's a burial mound or two up there. And they dated it at over 106,000 years. 106. So, that throws that 6,000 years out the window, man.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, Ray, we've been reading. Yes. I just ordered a pile of books. I'm going to be digging through all kinds of stuff. A lot more ancient texts. Or copies of ancient texts. I'm going to be actually reading about the Emerald Tablets. So, should be fun. I just feel my head hurting now. Anyway, all right, man. I'll let you go.
All right.
You got stuff to do. Thanks again, man. I appreciate it. Anytime, bro. Anytime.
Yeah. Good to see y'all, and whoever watch later. Good to see you.
Later, Hoss.
Later.
There we go. Everybody give Pyro a big round of applause for coming on and filling us in. Yes, indeed. I was reading where the word thought comes from Thoth. He's the idea. He is the one God king who was actually sympathetic toward humans and didn't like the way they were treated. So it was his job to try and get us right, pull us back out of the caves after some type of calamity, some apocalyptic incident that put us back in the caves, destroyed a civilization, and yeah. Too. He's great. He is absolutely great. I would imagine that you would be a lot wiser if you lived hundreds of years. I mean, you think about when you go back and look at even you're looking at the Bible, okay? If that's the only reference material you have for the ancient past, you go back to the Old Testament and see how long, their longevity, how long they lived. They lived hundreds of years. Hundreds of years. That's all right, Hiker. That's all good, man. This is a quick show tonight. I wanted to hop on and, touch base with everybody and just talk about, well, ancient civilizations, because that's what I like talking about. And some people ask me, how is that tied to Sasquatch? Everything's tied to Sasquatch. How's that tied to ghosts and demons and all this other stuff? Everything paranormal. It's all tied together. Well, howdy, Sandra. How are you doing? Welcome back to the Outpost. Well, I think so. There's something other. And father of writers, yes. Yeah. Yeah, I'm learning stuff. It's going to take me a minute or two. But tonight's topic was inspired by what we were talking about earlier today, Ray. What Jimmy posted, and when he showed that film clip of Vladimir Putin and what he said. I mean, whether you like him or not, the dude was right. You got to call out the truth for when it, where it comes from. The destruction of those, that ancient site there, those statues, those priceless works of art, the priceless uh, landscape. I mean, it's heartbreaking. It really is, and it's orchestrated. It's just like he said. I mean, it's not just random people coming by with sanders, hammers, and chisels to deface all this stuff. They're bringing in heavy equipment, bulldozers, backhoes, jackhammers. They're bringing in, heavy equipment to take all this stuff out. Yeah. I mean, you think about it. I think, and this is just my take on it. Okay. Agree with me, disagree with me, that's cool. This is just my opinion. I think they're the indigenous people here. And we, humans, are not. I think we were genetically engineered to be slaves to the Anunnaki many moons ago. Exactly. Yeah, there's a term for that. The people who are born smarter than the rest, who are enlightened for the advancement of humanity. What are they called, Ray? Correct me if I'm wrong. Are they star seeds? People who are put here to guide us along, to help us. Oh, look at there. What are you doing up so late, Hoss? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Wow, you made a show. Dude, you made a show. It's good to see you. Good to see you. But star children, no, star seeds is what they're called. But you could call them star children too, I guess, I suppose. Yep, that's right. And they don't want us to know. There are some that are just blatantly obvious about it, and then it's just, look, they like low IQ. They promote low IQ as much as they talk about, oh, we've got to promote the educational system. No, they're not. They're not at all. They're not. No one's promoting the educational system. No one's helping the educational system. As a matter of fact, they're sabotaging the educational system worldwide. They're sabotaging us. I mean, yeah. Yep. Those are the SAR seeds. Yep. Man, I hate you can't sleep, bro. Well, I'm glad you're able to make it here. To everybody, this gentleman's from Sweden. He makes a conscious effort to watch my show. Watch our show. Let's put it like that. Because you guys are as much part of it as I am. I'm just a talking head. Okay. Now, I will tell you guys this. The other day, no, it was yesterday. Yeah, early yesterday, I went to work. And we meet up at the shop and we get carried out to the buses for shift change. We take over. That's how things work. And this girl works dispatch. This young lady, I noticed there was a vehicle sitting out in the parking lot. There was a bumper sticker on the back that says, "I brake for Bigfoot." I'm like, now what is that all about? Okay, so so I'm the only one going to shift change, and she's driving me. I look at her. I said, "Do you know whose car that is?" She chuckles and says, "Yeah, it's mine." And I'm like, cool. So, really? What made that car stand out? I said, your bumper sticker. Oh, I've got a bunch of them. Which she did. I mean, the whole hatch is just full of bumper stickers. But that one, I said, the one that says, "I brake for Bigfoot." Are you a researcher? She said, well, academically speaking. So she's looking into it on the academic side, wondering why academia isn't taking this more seriously. And I love the fact that she was fresh minded enough to say, we don't know everything. Science isn't complete truth. There's more theory there. We're still learning. Why are we dismissing all of this evidence? And I'm like, wow. And I just said, thank you. I said, thank you. This is awesome. So we sat and talked about it, and she's fresh into this. She's so fresh into this that she doesn't know what she's in for. I told her, I said, be careful. You better have your big girl pants on because you're going to run into stuff you're just not going to be ready for. And she freely admitted that exactly, it's synchronicity. I'm running into all these people in real life that telling me all this stuff, and it's just, man, it's great. But I told her, I said, be prepared. So I'm not trying to scare you or nothing. I just want you to understand there's a lot of weird out there. A lot of stuff that can't be explained by conventional science yet. Just say it. Just want to throw that out there. Yes, and synchronicity. Yes. Unfortunately, that is the exact truth. And it's the indoctrination, it's the propaganda, it's, the military industrial complex that we were warned about 70 years ago. Yeah, as usual. Yeah, she's not there yet. She's she's a suburbanite girl who's limited to, knowledge in the ways of woodcraft and just that type of knowledge in general. Uh, just hey, how are you doing? Good to see you. But going back to what we saw earlier, um, the fact that mask, that carving, is over 500 years old and not native to the area where it was located. That's fascinating. It's fascinating. And you look at it, you think it would weigh probably 60, 70, maybe 100 pounds, be as big as it is, It just looks like a solid, just looking at it, looks like it might be a solid piece of granite. But when he says it's like kind of sandy to the touch and weighs about 25 pounds, I said, wow. Oh, yeah. It's fact. It's fact. There's a reason, like I said last night, there's a reason why people show up here and talk. There's a reason why people are, willing to share their ideas here because they're awake enough. And I'm not going to use that fraudulent term woke. I hate that. That's throw up in my mouth a little bit every time I hear it. You guys are aware enough to realize there's some bullshit going on. And it's time we get to the truth. And I think together we can do it. Yeah, if old Gates has his way. Yeah. 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 I was going to show something, but the more I look at it, more I look like I might get a copyright strike if I actually do that. So I can't do it. But yeah, everybody, take a look at. If you get a chance, check out Bright Insights here on YouTube, and check out Jimmy Corsetti's channel. He's got a wealth of knowledge, man, and he's very passionate about what he does. He served in the military. He was in the Army Reserves. He served a year in northern Iraq, and got to see these ruins that's been torn down himself. He got to stand where they were, not where they are, because they've been torn down now. It's a tragedy. It really is. And it's been orchestrated to be that way. More erasing of history. Oh, dude, they're making out like it's the next AIDS epidemic. That's what they're saying. God almighty. Always ask questions. Always ask questions. And then ask questions about the answers you get. It sounds... it's just the way... It's just the way our, the intelligence agency likes to work. How they like to, boost these, these propaganda. Aw, hey, honey. This is my wife. Your show is great. Night, daddy. Love you. Miss you. Good night. Aw. Yeah, that's my baby. Both of them. I guarantee you both of them are watching right now. That's her. Yep. And that was probably my son that said that. That's probably Hayden. If you look at this pup in the background, that's my old buddy Rocky. He's been gone a year now. No, that's okay. No, it's okay. I'm glad you stopped by. Thank you. I think this is the first time you've ever really made a mention here in the show. So yeah, everybody, that's my wife. I love you, baby. Love you, son. Yes, head and bobbers are dangerous. They're there's so many people out there who just like to just nod and go on with what's going on. I can't do it anymore. Once the veil was lifted, that film was Thanks, Daniel. Once that veil was lifted, man, it's like I could not look back. I couldn't unsee everything that I've saw. And I can't go back. And at first it was like I compared it to being, that new Christian. I remember how it was, Bible thumping and all this, that, and the other. And I took it personal when someone didn't get what I was saying. Now it's just like I have to take a deep breath and just woosah my way through it. It's just I got to understand that indoctrination is just so heavily ingrained in us now. I mean, it starts from birth. Is this yeah. Thanks, Hiker. I appreciate it, bro. Ooh. I got some photos I need to share. I will do this Wednesday. Damien, if that's okay with you, bro. I'm going to talk about some stuff next Wednesday. She is currently in Maryland right now with her mom. Her and my son Hayden. They're in they're there visiting. It's been a while. She hadn't seen her mom since February? It's a long time. Yeah. It's hard, man. It's really hard. You want to wake everybody up. Your first knee jerk reaction, your instinct is just wake up. You've got to see all this, and you just look like a nutbag. you just I look back and I think, and I've got to step outside myself for just a second and just observe what I'm, put what I'm thinking in there just for just a minute and think, yeah, that's not going to work. It really does. It really does. I mean, yeah, Maryland. Yeah. She's in Sykesville right now. Visiting her mommy and her daddy. The whole reason why I'm here is because, I got to work. She left yesterday. I had to work. She won't come back till tomorrow. I got to work. So, yeah. Oh, man. Brandon, thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. And she does. She don't quite understand it all, but she supports me in what I do. And that means the world to me. Without her I wouldn't be doing this. Indeed she is. She loves her some seafood now. But she best not be cracking any crab legs around my boy who gets upset. Oh. Oh, you're going to have to tell me that later. You're going to have to tell me that later. Or you can tell me it now. I don't care. That's a good way to explain it. It's another good way. The beginning of the past is like being dunked in cold water initially takes your breath away, and learning and accepting the truth about things is like going through the phases of death and the grieving process. It really is. It really is. It's a small world, dear. It's a small world. Yeah. Sorry about that. Yep. It's been it's been a wild ride, and it ain't over yet. I mean, it's just getting started, and the whole process of me actually getting aware enough to where I can actually feel comfortable and confident to continue my journey. It's been a feat. I didn't know if I was if I'll be honest with you guys, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to continue. This last time, it wouldn't just. No, I was telling you, Damien, about some of these pictures that you sent me. I'm going to try and go over on the show Wednesday. If that's cool with you. Oh, okay. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. It's just it's nuts. Okay, so you guys know now what I do for a living now. I drive a bus for a transit company. Okay, and going around picking all these people up. Most of them, it's in a college town. Okay, I will, Damien. I'll remind you. So I see people. I'm interacting with people all the time. I mean, they're right there in my face. I'm picking them up, dropping them off. And I've got a regular route now. So I mean, I see the same people a lot, and we're getting to where we're talking. And well, some people, some are just so intent on getting on the bus, taking their seat, waiting to where they're got to be, and then they go. And this is what I see. This is what I see a lot of. And it's scary when you see these drones and they don't even look up. This. And for a while, I used to think it was like it's just the kids that do it. No, 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 no. Everybody does it from all ages. I mean, I've seen people older than me get on that bus, and they're doing the same thing everybody else is doing. They got their head in that cell phone. Thanks, bro. When you drive like two buses, yeah, it is. It's a see. I drive a 60-foot bus, a 40-foot bus, and a 35-foot bus. The 60-foot bus, well, it's 60 foot. There's some houses that aren't that long. Uh, but yeah, it's not that hard to drive, actually. I've got a good route so far, and it's, but it's the same. every day. Now, trans robots. Yeah. Now, I love this thing I love this thing for its convenience and the fact that I have information at my fingertips. I use it when I'm on the bus. I run audio. I got my hands on a small Bluetooth speaker I put behind my driver's seat. I hang it up there and I listen to podcasts the whole shift. That's pretty cool. You creeper. What's up, buddy? Thank you, man. Thank you, man. But yeah, that's if it wasn't for that, I'd chuck that son of a bitch. I got by for 35 years without it. 35, 40 years. I would say I got by 40 years without something like that. I you know, my first cell phone was a little flip phone that I kept in my pocket. I never used it. Never hardly used it. When I did use it, I was using it for work purposes. Seriously. I had a landline at home. Yeah, driving that 60-foot bus is like driving. It's like that. Oh yeah, well you get used to it after a while, but it's not for everybody. I mean, they do really good at the training and all that, and but people get started. They get in the classroom, and once they get out of the classroom and start the practical, get behind that bus and get intimidated, and they said, "Nope, nope, peace out, brother. I'm gone. I'm gone." They can't they can't handle that responsibility of driving between 14 and 28 tons of a vehicle driving down the street. I missed that one. But you're right, though. Oh, that's hilarious, dude. That's hilarious. Yeah. Dude, you're absolutely right about that. I remember when you got charged a processing fee when you used your credit card or debit card. They would prefer you use cash. Now, everywhere you go, swipe that plastic, swipe that plastic. They keep tabs on everything you do, everywhere you go, that chip. It's not only that, I mean, people worry about 666, mark of the beast. You going to take the mark? You've already took a mark. You've got this, and you got that chip set in your freaking card. 11 years without television. I used a streaming service, but as far as regular TV, I haven't read regular TV, regular broadcast cable. Probably 6 years now. Easily 6 years. This is true. This is true. When you get into heavy traffic, it can be a little meh. But you're just worried about everybody else. See, this is something I found out. It's also what is formed as an angelic number. There's a 666 that's an angelic number. So, who's lying to who? Just like I said, it's just. Oh, hold on a second. Yeah. What was I saying? Yeah. See, they don't carry the cash, man. Dude. Yeah, it's everywhere, man. It's everywhere. The stuff I want to talk about, I need to further study and put together like a PowerPoint, just discuss a bunch of stuff. But from what I'm learning now, it's opened my eyes up to a whole new world. It really has, and it's scary. I mean, I'm not going to run from it because it's also very exciting. Um, what I talked about last night, where I said we were all connected, we're all part of this network of this web of energy that links us all together. Some threads are really bright, some are dim, but we're we're all connected in this universe, and that's what I'm learning. And I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. Mm-hmm. Yep. It's on the atomic level. It's a quantum field that attaches all of us, kind of like the Force in Star Wars. Thank you. I appreciate that, Ray. I got you. I'm gonna. I will no doubt be calling you and saying help. I don't doubt it because I just can't. It's hard for me to move at a reasonable pace because I want to absorb everything all at once. I, I just it's hard for It's hard for me to not want to absorb all this information at one time. And for the last couple of days, I've been just inhaling all this information. Um, and it's like, oh my God, stop. That's a good way to put it, the God source. Hmm. Thank you. I didn't want to say it. Not yet. But I believe we're all fractals. We are all fractals of a God source. I mean, this goes out to every living being in the universe. Bear with me. That we're all connected somewhere or other. There's, it's just, we've got to, I've got to take it one step at a time. Where did we come from? Why are we here? Um, Big pieces of a huge flipping puzzle. I'm putting it together. A little bit of time. A little bit of time. It's all it's going to take. Yeah. I've got some time left, hopefully. Good Lord willing. And I'm going to use that time wisely to try and get some answers and prepare us for what's going to happen in the next few years. And I think we're all here in this together. And I'm seeing you guys are right here too. And that makes me feel a lot better. Let's have it, hiker. Come on now. Dude. Yeah. Yeah. See, I mean, it's just, oh, it's it's a never ending journey. Okay, I got to say something. You got this theory from what I've been reading, and remember I mentioned earlier, you look in the Bible and see the longevity of some of the people who lived back then. Hundreds and hundreds of years, 800 to 1,000, almost 1,000 years. You know, that type of longevity. What's going to happen when you live that long? When you live that long, you tend to gather a shitload of information. You become smart. You become learned. If you have access to the right materials, you become a walking, talking encyclopedia. I do believe that we as a species have been cut off at the source. We can no longer live these long, beautiful lives, these knowledge filled lives, because the sources, the reason why we've been cut off, wants us dumb. Just, I love you too, hiker. Right. Look at the Methuselah. And think about how long Enoch would have lived here on earth had he not been taken up. when he was transported to the great beyond. Yep. And that power that remains in our DNA is what some scientists, I do believe, call our junk DNA, or had called our junk DNA up to maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago, when they're realizing, hey, maybe there's something more to this. I think I'm no medical doctor and I'm no scientist, and I'm looking like, say, what? Of course there's something more to it. I mean, I don't know how to get to it, but it's like, God damn, I know there's more to it than that. Yeah. Yeah, the haves and the have-nots, and the have-nots are going to be a slew of us when it comes to that. Yep. Well, we're creeping up on the bottom of the hour. I'm going to wrap it up. So that tonight will be an hour and a half long show, and it's been a good one. It started out a little slow. I had very little energy. I stopped moving, and it was like, pew. I'm like, oh shit. Let's put some caffeine, and it just wasn't working. Just wasn't working at all. But yeah, oh, absolutely. They call it the God's eye for a reason. I mean, you look at the size and shape of the pineal gland, and then you look at the eye of Horus. You hold the eye of Horus up to a depiction of the pineal gland. Oh, look, it fits. uh, you're welcome, man. I kind of took down that moniker, Raven, but I think I'm going to put it back up. Hell with it. I kind of like it. Do, 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 do. There. It took me a minute. Isa. Yes, indeed. And we blindly give our power away. You know, when this country was founded, it was supposed to be the people in in Congress, in the Senate, in the White House. They were serving us. Somehow, at some point, they flipped the script, and now it's the other way around. Yeah, this coming Wednesday. Let's see. Make sure I get my date right. Wednesday, August 4th. Oh no, 3rd. Oh hey Ray, I'm supposed to get all my material Tuesday. uh, anyway, well, thank you. I try to I try to make it to where we create a conversation to where we can actually you know have a conversation about it. I don't say I'm right about everything. I like to learn. I'm still learning. I'll just say what I've learned, and if somebody points something out, I mean that is it contradicts what I've been saying. That's good. I appreciate that, Jimmy. I appreciate that. Exactly. I mean, it's on the glyphs, the carvings with the Anunnaki. There's a pine cone with the Anunnaki. It's like, what are they doing holding the pine cone? Exactly. Just looking at our ancestors going back. How many resets have we had? How many great resets have we had? Seriously, how many great resets have we had? We don't know yet. We know of the flood, the flood of Noah, which is also in Gilgamesh. I mean, you should go figure that one out. Yeah, making things fit. You've got a square peg trying to fit a round hole. If you take that jigsaw to the corners and just stuff it in there, it's not right. Um, be auspicious. There's some people that say that's is the gland that produces the natural form of DMT in the body that allows you to transcend your physical form and do astral projection. That also is where when you leave this mortal coil and then leave this earthly realm, that kicks in and releases a all of it, all of the DMT that is stored in your system and pushes you, it releases you, separates you from your physical body and allows you to transcend. So that's what they say. So, and I honestly tend to believe that because once I started down the road of decalcifying my pineal gland, I noticed a subtle change. I mean, it happened over a long period of time, but once your sensitivity starts kicking in, it could be overwhelming for a little bit there. Exactly. See, this is the thing. History is written by the victor, and that's the reason why they burned the Library of Alexandria. Think about that's one of the greatest atrocities of the human timeline because so much history was lost. But it finds a way. Knowledge and light find a way to shine through the darkness. And every now and then, that one ray of hope will shine through and hit the right person. And boom, an idea is formed. That thought, that simple thought turns into an idea, turns into an action, and you start sharing this with other people, and it spreads like wildfire. When that ray of hope, uh, yeah, I haven't tried the DMT, but I would love to. I'll freely admit that. Pine cone at the Vatican. Well, okay. Yeah, it's the God's eye, your third eye. You know, it's like I was saying yesterday. I was talking last night about us having power. We do have the power. We just need to find a way to harness it and make our life better. You know, raise our vibrational frequency and stay away from certain things. You know, I've noticed, that certain shows that I used to like, I noticed how it would actually bring me down, even though I liked it. You know, um, so I've made the conscious decision to try and stay away from certain TV shows and certain activities that would bring me down. So I'm trying to keep my vibrational frequency higher. Higher my vibrational frequency, the lighter my mood, the lighter my mood, the more I can project more positive energy and be a better person and, help spread it around. You know, I've had anger issues, for a better part of my life. Little things would set me off. Not violently, but, just rah, 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 blah, 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 blah. That's my wife. I sound like old Tourette's guy from the YouTube channels. I don't know if anybody remembers him, but I would sound like Tourette's guy. It's called universal consciousness when we're all linked together. That's how true prayer works when we're actually concentrating and meditating on a certain thing. And we're all of like mind, we can do a lot. That's why they want us dumbed down. That's why they want us, of a low IQ. They don't want us living for very long. They're trying to kill us off every little bit at a time. Here we go. I'm just gonna spill it out here. They want us gone. Those of us who are like us right here, right now, they don't like what we're doing. They don't. They want us divided. Things are going right now. Look how this nation is divided. We're essentially in a cold civil war right now. I mean, it took a number of years for the actual civil war to take place, the war between the states. Will we get to the point where we're actually fighting in the streets in small armies and skirmishes? Will we get that far? I don't know. But it damn sure is starting to look like that if things don't change. If things don't change, then that's where we're going to be headed. But like you say, if enough people think a certain way, we can change the reality we live in. Yeah. See, this is another thing that I have yet to touch on is, in our pursuit to want to do better and help other people, we also have to be guarded. It's not a perfect world. There is evil out here. And once you start spreading light, darkness hates that and they will try to extinguish it. And we're not always talking about theft and murder here. I mean, it was just subtle ways of doing things, is shutting you down. Letting you let your guard down, and next thing you know, they're going to prey on your weakness. And then next thing you know, you're going to be right back where you started, and all that progress has been lost. You don't have to work to gain it right back. It may not be as hard as before, but still, there you go. It sets you back. Right. Exactly. Free your mind of all this bullshit. All this stuff. I mean, read as many ancient texts as you can get a hold of. And do a lot of comparison. Dude, that's. Mm-hmm. What is it? What is it you said the other day? That some people cling to pain because it's familiar? And there's people are like that. And there's truth. There's truth to this saying that misery loves company. Trying to calm that short fuse. Yeah. It's it's hard to do when you've lived with it for so long. And it's like I said, Ray had made that distinction earlier in one of our private conversations about a certain subject we've been talking about, and I got to thinking about it. That claim, yeah, that describes me too. My my anger issues are familiar, and that fuse, I do. I find myself that you heard that. I audibly do that a lot now. And it's just a release of pressure. It's just, I can feel that pressure building up. And I can actually feel tension in my entire body release when I let that shit go. Not even kidding. Not even kidding. It's just and I feel, I used to have digestive issues. I'm finding that's becoming less and less now. Having heart issues and 2 types of blood pressure medication. I'm finding it's just possibly, this is going to take another doctor's visit, but maybe I'll be able to kick that eventually. I don't know. Maybe that's wishful thinking, but if I can get my vibrational frequency to where I need it to be, it's very well possible, and it's my belief. Yeah. Let's see. I'm reading chat for people who are wondering why I've got quiet. Well, I'll often say do not mistake my kindness for weakness, because I do draw a line. There's a time for peace and a time for war. And, a wise man tries to sidestep that as much as possible, but in times of peace, one must prepare for war. You've got to prepare. And this is what I'm doing. the calmness, being rational, not working through everything through anger. It's okay to be angry sometimes, not all the time, not to lose your shit, you know? Oh, look, Rick, there you go. I'm working on calming myself and making myself a better person. And I'm seeing things, like I said, I'm seeing things different. And I see that you guys are basically on the same path, which is freaking absolutely phenomenal. But, oh shit, I keep talking. Keep talking. Yes, indeed. Was it Sun Tzu that said that, or was that Miyamoto Musashi? I think it was Musashi that said that, wasn't it? I believe it was Miyamoto Musashi who said that. And that's where I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be the warrior in the garden. Yep. This right here, I live with hypervigilance for 13 years. I watched us two friends die in the line of duty. It changes your perspective on a lot of things and makes you very aware of your mortality. Back when I was serving, it's like we run what we used to call bump engagements. We always run into something. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. It wasn't always bad, but we never knew what was going to be around the corner. I worked night shift all the time, and that campus had some very dark spots. And so yeah. No, it was Miyamoto Musashi. One of the greatest swordsmen in the world, one of the greatest swordsmen of all time, who the reason why is because he played some serious head games with his opponents. The reason he beat one guy because he pissed him off so bad that he was late to the duel. He was late. It's like, dude, I'm sorry. I overslept. They were supposed to wake me up. And the guy was like, I am so angry. And he come at me, he lost his cool. He lost his head. And he was going to try and take Miyamoto's, and Miyamoto just slept him, and whop! It was done. He drew the sword, and he drew the first. He killed him right there on the spot. So, yeah, that's Miyamoto Musashi. You should read about him. Everybody talks about Sun Tzu and the art of war and all that. The Book of Five Rings is excellent. I highly recommend the Book of Five Rings. Yeah, that's fact. Yeah, I can see that too. Well, I went actually damn near a half hour over. This conversation is, you know, I can understand how, we go, some of these shows go an hour, and that's all they limit it to, an hour, because, you've got other things to do. You've got work the next day. You got to get to bed early. You want to just sit back and relax and all like that. But when you have conversations like this, an hour just ain't going to cut it. An hour and a half, 2 hours. Um, well, yeah, I see. Exactly. Fear is your biggest enemy when it comes to anything. You will, if you can stand up and to your fear, you'll be able to do what you have to do. But you guys are absolutely fan fucking tastic. I want to thank every last one of you for all the love and support you show me by showing up here every time I come on and providing such witty, thoughtful, insightful banter. Do I still have that invitation, Ellie? Do I still have that invitation? Because I'm about ready to, drop in for a little bit. um, but you guys are absolutely awesome. Every last one of you, everyone who stopped by tonight. Whether you showed up early or showed up late, the fact that you showed up means the world to me. And when we have such meaningful conversation, and there's so many people here who share this conversation and have such insightful ideas, that our knowledge just grows naturally. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. I love talking about ancient civilizations. That's obvious. It's become part of my passion right now. But I'm going to get back into cryptids Wednesday, taking a look at certain things. What's new out there? I'm going to be taking a look, and I appreciate it, Ray. I appreciate it. I'm going to be taking a look into cryptid news, see if there's any new discoveries or anything like that, and we'll talk about that for a little while. Hey, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. But the fact that everybody here is here and we're having this conversation right now, that's all that matters to me. Because for the longest time, this has been my outlet. I mean, like last night, when my peace was disturbed to the point where I was, where did I come to? Here. And who showed up? You guys. Dude. I can't beat it. You can't beat it with a stick, man. Can't beat it with a stick. Discovered never play poker with a dog, man. They cheat. Oh, dude. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people in the ether, I'm going to call it a night. I want to thank each and last every one of you again for stopping by, and hope to see you here this coming Wednesday 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right. See, I know yeah, you're right. Oh, I love it. It's a little inside joke. Sorry, guys. Anyway, I'm going to jump off of here and chillax for a minute or two and hit the hay. I got an early day tomorrow. Not too early, but early for me. And I hope everybody has a wonderful night and the rest of the weekend. I hope everything goes okay for everybody. And I love y'all, and I mean it. And till next time, good night.